Hey guys, it's Ani. Happy Friday. I hope everyone's day is going well so far, and we're going to keep it going that way. I'm going to literally motivate you, talk some sense into you. I want you to start applying whatever you hear in today's video for your day, for your weekend. I really want you to start seeing how powerful you are. I'll be sharing a success story, you guys, from a short one from one of my course clients and one from one of my one-on-one sessions. But as you know, like all my videos, it's jam-packed with information, really juicy. I talk about my personal stuff too. And I'll be really talking about like having faith, how to have faith when nothing's really happening out there, right? I feel like that's something we all come across on our manifestation journey when you're really waiting for something or you're manifesting something and you don't see anything. You don't see any evidence, which kind of brings you down, right? It kind of feels like it slows down the process. It discourages you. So we're going to talk about that. But as you know, if you're an OG viewer, get your drinks, get your snacks, pause the video, get your notebooks. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information so you can apply going forward. Cheers to this Friday, you guys. Cheers to this weekend. You guys, let me share. Let's share the course one first because it's shorter. Get that out of the way, but I'm just so happy. If you are anyone that's like doubting, questioning, anything like that, you're maybe asking yourself, okay, when is it going to come? What's going to happen? Like, is this even real? Just hear these stories because these people also felt that way one time along their manifestation journey. And please don't worry about comparing yourself. Like, oh, how long did theirs take? Oh, but their circumstances maybe were different, but this, but that, but this. None of that matters. It doesn't matter. Like, that's just you making excuses. Oh, theirs took 6 months, mine's taking 7. Oh, maybe it's not going to work out for me. No. Okay, like don't create the brain. The brain likes to do that. Self-sabotage is a real thing. It literally will try to keep you in your old story of like, I'm not worthy and deserving, or I'm not going to get what I want. It will keep you there when it comes up with all these excuses in your head why it's not working. Okay, so here's the course one, you guys. She did the self-concept and master your mind. So I have a course that is called Master Your Mind, Manifest Your SP. It's really for those of you who don't want to just focus on just affirming. Like there's other ways of doing this. I teach EFT tapping in there. Not like it's not a long EFT tapping course, but I teach it in there as well. The way I do it, I teach different things in there. So if you're someone that's interested in mastering the mind, it has a lot of self-concept stuff in there as well. Like, so self-concept bundle and master your mind bundle is the one she took, and this is what she wrote. Ani, you literally helped me manifest my person back in when I thought the circumstances wouldn't allow it. Even though he was talking to someone else at the time, he came back to me. We've been back together for almost a year now, and he's talking about wedding plans. This girl is the real deal, you guys. Thank you so much for everything you do, Ani. I started doing the self-concept first, and then the Master Your Mind, Manifest Your SP Now course, and I've just been getting the results. And you guys, here's one thing, like, I want you to know this. It's not about a course. It's about you persisting in one thing. It's about you persisting and changing your ways and thoughts and embodiments and assumptions. You cannot get the same results if you're in the same lack mindset. It's just like, that's not how it works. You get what you focus on. And if you're someone that focuses on, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, a lot of people actually are like, no, I am good and worthy enough. I believe that. But then their story is that this person doesn't want to give me that. This person isn't ready to show me that. This person is insecure. I used to think that all the time. And I hear that a lot in clients too, where it's like, I know I'm good enough. I know I'm worthy enough. I love myself. Like self-love is something I have, but the other person told me they're not ready for a relationship. The other person told me they're not ready for a commitment. The other person feels like they're insecure. They're always insecure. They're scared of the relationship. That also has to do with your self-concept and the way you see the story to be. So don't always think it's a one-way thing. It's like, it's not, self-concept is not just you feeling loved and worthy of something. You can have that story, but you can also have a story of, this person's not ready to give me that. They're not over their baggage. They have issues in their own life that's preventing them from showing up for me. That's a story that holds people back a lot. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. Girl, if you're watching this, literally thank you for sharing that story and allowing me to share it with everyone on the channel. And thank you for staying consistent. Like, I'm proud of you. We can show you guys what to do. We can guide you, right? But you staying consistent is on you. You persisting is on you, right? And that's the beauty of it. So good job. I love that even though you knew in your reality, in that 3D, that there may have been a third party, you still persisted. You still saw the light at the end of the tunnel and you kept going. And I know it's hard, you guys. I know it's hard when there's circumstances present that are not in your favor, and it could be very emotional, very hurtful, but you have to remember, it's still you calling the shots. It's still you. And most of this is a reminding game. Remind yourself, and check on that inner voice that sometimes try to say, no, go back to the old story. That voice in your head, go back to the old story. Go back to not feeling like it's going to work out. Go back to thinking they're insecure and none of this is going to work out in your favor. No, you have the desire for a reason. This desire is there, and I say this all the time, the desire is there not to be dangled in your face and for you to struggle, but the desire is there to show you that, hey, this is another parallel reality that exists already that you can tap into if you work on it right now. A lot of people cannot specifically work on it right now. They need to do like the self-concept stuff first, right? Here's the thing. When your self-concept's low, when you can't identify as someone getting what they want, or you can't feel confident in that, or you get triggered very easily and you react very easily, which causes more and more unfavored evidence, then you want to work on your self-concept first, like she did. And the reason for that is, when you're not in a place of being able to maintain what you manifest, that's where hot and cold behavior comes in. If you've ever experienced hot and cold behavior, that is why. If you want to maintain your results, your manifestations going forward, the core beliefs and assumptions have to be dealt with. And when you become and you practice the version of yourself that is able to have faith in the unseen, she's able to surrender, she's able to trust, she's able to do her mental diet and then detach, she's able to start really building faith that this whole universe has her back or his back, whatever, right? When you get there, triggers don't happen as often, reactions don't happen as often, results are maintained. It's when the triggers happen often, it's when the reactions happen often is when you get a lot of roller coaster of emotions and reactions in your universe, and you get that same behavior reflected back by people and your partner. If this makes sense, comment down below, you guys, because I remember when I was not, when all I did was when all I was doing is caring about what SP is going to show me and not really my feelings internally, like keeping myself calm and confident and neutral and trusting. Like, yes, SP would come in, but I wouldn't be able to maintain it, because the moment SP would say something that would trigger me, it would either be a fight, either it would be a disagreement, or even if it wasn't a confrontation, I would literally go and think all the unfavorable stuff that can play out because of what I just heard or because of what he told me. Like, you see, like, it kind of like just throws you off track when you're not solid within. So a priority would be becoming solid within, working on that self-concept, you know? And I'm so proud of this girl that did that. So keep up the good work. You're only going to get more and more favorable evidence going forward because you've built that strong inner world already. And even if you have a bad day, that's fine. You know how to get back on track. Okay? So just keep that in mind, you guys. A lot of this is reminding yourself of how this works. A lot of this is back to basics. A lot of this is really remembering who calls the shots, because when we get caught up, we forget who calls the shots, and everything feels like it's happening to us, not through us, like from us. Okay, let me share this, because this is another example. This is from a session client, like a one-on-one session. This is another example of how when you work on that internal world, how your reality shifts to meet you at your new version. Okay, this was right after session, by the way. I got this email right after session. She says, "Hi, Ani. I just got an unexpected phone call from my mom, literally as soon as I logged off from my session with you. I haven't been in contact with my mom in a few years." I didn't even know that. She had not expressed that to me in session, because we weren't working on manifesting her mom. We were talking about her self-concept and how she's leveled up so much and how everything's changing in her work and her viewpoint of herself. And she says, my mom said she would like to, so she says, "I haven't been in contact with my mom in a few years. It was a surprise to hear from her. My mom said she would like to see me and have lunch with me and my sister. She had reflected the positive self-concept I had about myself. We literally just talked about how focusing on yourself can help you manifest people back into your life. I know this movement wasn't my intended focus, but it proves how manifesting can happen when you're not heavily focusing on it. Things come when you least expect it. My advice to everyone is to focus on yourself. Go with the flow, and your SP will come back into your life better than before. Trust and believe in the process." She's manifesting SP, so she mentioned SP as well, but her mom came in. I didn't know that she hadn't had contact with her mom in a few years. This is crazy. She says, Ani, I can't wait for our next session. You've helped me gain confidence in my manifestation abilities through my self-concept and beliefs. Have a great day. Girl, I'm so happy for you. This just goes to show you, when I say everything reflects it back to you, your self-concept, this proves it. She wasn't even working on her mom. I didn't even know that she had no contact with her mom for years. And those of you manifesting SP that have not heard from them in months and years, this applies to you as well. Mom, SP, doesn't matter. A person is a person. A self-concept work results in this type of push out. When you work on your self-concept and you start loving who you are, you start pouring into you, you start prioritizing yourself, you start really loving and enjoying who the heck you are, no matter what's happening in your reality, That's when things like this happen. People from years ago that you haven't spoken to come in. You know how many clients I've had that are their SPs, haven't spoken to them in years? They haven't seen them in years, and they were hoping and wishing and praying when they first started with me to get contact, and they get it as well. Whether you're focusing on the SP or you're focusing on self-concept, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. You loving yourself is a win-win. And you're probably like, I love myself though. I do my hair, I do my nails, I go shopping. I do love myself. I spend my money on me. I do self-care. That's not the same thing. I'm talking about when you're down, when you're sad, when you have no hope, when you're doubting. How are you taking care of yourself in those moments? Are you loving yourself? Are you motivating yourself? Are you reminding yourself of how all this stuff works? Are you checking in on yourself from a moment-to-moment basis? That's what a proper mental diet is. If you've been following us, you've heard what a mental diet is, right? Persist in your mental diet, persist in the new story. Well, you got to have your back no matter what on the lowest moments of your life, in the lowest moments in your day. You got to be your cheerleader, because if you're not, and you just stay down and you just stay like, oh, maybe nothing's going to work out for me, and you do that self-sabotage talk, guess what? You just had a choice to do self-sabotage talk or cheerlead yourself back into understanding how this works, and you chose the old story. You chose, I'm not getting what I want. Let's focus on that even more. And the universe is just like sitting there like, really, really, you want to focus on that? Okay, fine, boss. I got to give you what you want though. And your focus indicates to me what you want. It's your focus that indicates to me what you want. You know, when they say, you've probably heard this, and I used to get so annoyed of this quote. I used to get so annoyed, but I'll explain it in a way where it's not annoying, okay? You know that quote that says, you don't attract or you don't manifest what you want. You attract/manifest what you believe to be true, right? Yes and no. You don't have to believe it to get it, but you attract and you manifest. I'm not going to say attract. You project the reality. So the reality is projected back onto you. Where your focus is at. Okay? So your subconscious mind thinks that focus equals order. She focused on it, so she must be ordering that from me. Like, that's her command. Okay? So if you have an opportunity to focus on lack, or think of it this way, you focus on either lack, you focus on calming your nervous system down, neutralizing it. If you can't go to abundance right away, or if you can't go to the desired story, at least go in the middle and go to neutral. I always talk about this. If you're working on something and you're super stressed out and it's not working and you haven't seen evidence of it, just go back to the basics, go neutral at least, because that shift, you're telling your subconscious mind, I'm not ordering anything against my desire. I'm just calming the nervous down for everything I have desired so far for you to push it out. Like, it's kind of like on back order, okay? Like, whatever I put on back order, at least those desires that I've been thinking about all this time, get it out to me when I go neutral. That's what your subconscious mind thinks. So when you always have a choice. You always have a choice of choosing one story over the other. Everything is neutral. I was talking about it with my SP today. Like, everything is neutral. Everything. That's why you see certain people behave with you in a way, and that same person could behave differently with another person. Why is that? It's because they're just matching the assumptions you have of them. So if you think that, oh, this person's going to show up for me in this way, because maybe you're looking into history, like that's how they always showed up for me, so that's how they're going to show up for me, right? So that's your assumption. This person shows up for you in one way, they show up for someone in another way. And you, the non-creator version of you, has probably been like, why do they always show up for other people but not me, right? Or it's because of the way you see them to be. It's because the way you assume and expect them to show up. Okay? So I'm so proud of you, girl. Like, your mom showed up because you've been so focused on literally bettering yourself, loving yourself, prioritizing yourself. And what does that do? That creates a ripple effect. That thought transmission happens, and it makes other people project back onto you. I gotta prioritize her. They feel that energy of you prioritizing you. They feel the energy that you're loving you. And that teaches and causes a ripple effect out there, where you're now shifted in a reality where everybody has to do that to you, because you're putting out that command. Your focus is on you. So guess what? Everyone's focus has to be on you. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes if you have not seen evidence of your SP or whoever it is that you're manifesting, that's fine. There's literally Neville Goddard talked about having faith in the unseen. Why talk about having faith in the unseen? Because there will be moment to moment, like times where you may not get evidence. There will be a time where you may not see evidence, and that's completely fine. Everything's still working out in your favor, though. And I'm not just saying that to sugarcoat it. Like, I'm not just saying like, hey, here's an affirmation, everything's working out in your favor. I'm not saying it just because. I'm saying it because that is how the universe works. Once you focus on something, all the little worker bees in this universe try to get you what you want. This whole force is trying to get you what you desire per your focus. But the moment you start doubting it, it's kind of like, whoa, should I yield? Do I yield to you or you yield to me? Like, one person has to yield. There's a yielding thing here. Either you trust and have faith that this whole force heard you, just like it hears all the other manifestations you've had, the free coffees, the free parking spots, you get into restaurants with no reservations, money's coming in, just like how all these manifestations happen. You are heard and you yield. Like, you put it out there, you focus on it, and you yield. You allow the universe to serve you it through a projection. Or you don't trust, you don't have faith, and you go out there and try to manipulate a situation. Can you get something by manipulating a situation? Yeah, probably. That you did that before you knew manifestation, but can you maintain it? Can you maintain the manifestation if you keep having to manipulate a situation? Probably not. It's going to feel like force. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like everything is just hard. Like nothing. It's not going to feel like a blessing. It's not going to feel like anything powerful. Like you have a whole freaking force backing you up. You're just going to feel like, oh, if I don't do it, it's never going to come to me. Right? And that's not why you were born. That's not your birthright, right? Cheers to everyone watching this video. Literally, you're here watching because you're supposed to hear this message. You are woke enough to hear this message. You're going through a journey where you have to hear this. And I'm thankful to be the messenger, seriously. Like, it makes my day to see you guys sending me all these success stories and me sharing it on the channel. It makes my day, it makes my year, it makes my week, because this is why I teach what I teach. This is why I'm here to, I want you to realize your power. Like, do you know how fulfilling that is for me when I see someone realize how powerful they are and they start using it? It's like the best feeling ever. But when in doubt, Focus on you. And if you've watched my last Friday's video, I give you examples of what focusing on you means. You guys, this does not mean stop your focus on ST. This does not mean don't go specific. What this means is while you're doing, if you're someone that likes visualizing an end goal, an end scene, perfect, go for it. If you're someone that listens to sleep affirmations, go for it. If you're someone that loves to script, affirm, go for it. You don't have to stop that stuff just because you're now going to focus on you. But what you do have to stop is coming from a desperate, obsessive place. You do not need to beat a dead horse when it comes to manifesting. You do not need to take your affirmation and say it 5,000 times a day when you're coming from a super lack and uncomfortable and anxious inner world. That's not what you do. You provide for yourself moment to moment, second to second, minute to minute, 30-minute to 30-minute, hour to hour. I literally want you to ask yourself, instead of like obsessively thinking about my specific person right now, how can I use this time and focus on me? How can I use this time and focus to enjoy my present moment with myself, with my loved ones right now? Because if I'm grateful for that, and if I'm present in this, and if I did my affirmations in the morning, and I can feel safe now to now enjoy my day. You have to be able to feel safe to enjoy your day, you guys. You don't have to beat a dead horse, like doing technique after technique after technique after technique. Like, my courses tell you what homework to do, and then I literally advise you to do stuff for you, because you put out the order, but you don't meddle with the middle. Like, stop meddling with the middle. When you go to a restaurant and you order something, do you run back to the restaurant after the waiter took your order and you're like, oh, but let me see how you take the food out of the fridge, let me see how you put it in the pan, let me see how you fry it, let me see how you boil it, let me see how you clean my utensils? You don't do that, right? You're just like, all right, let's enjoy a glass of wine while our food's prepared for us, right? Like, you're just so super present. Or maybe you're talking with family, talking with friends, you're enjoying your appetizers, whatever it is. You're not like, OMG, run to the back of the kitchen. I need to know how they're going to bring my food to me. I need to know what the heck happens in the kitchen. No, you don't. No, you don't. Have faith in the unseen. Your dish maybe back in the kitchen, they might have not messed up. Back in the kitchen, your dish may have gone from chef to chef to chef, right? One chef had to garnish it. One chef had to season it. You're not worried like, oh my God, it had to go through so many people to get to me. No, you're just like, whatever, right? So don't worry about any circumstance. Like, as long as you know this force has your back and your plate's coming to you, the projection's coming to you, why stress yourself out? And listen, I know it's easier said than done. Literally, the person that would stress out the most is telling you, why stress out, right? But I'm telling you from personal experience, you guys, the people I have dealt with in my life, the circumstances I have dealt with in my life, I could literally write a book. I was the most stressed out person. I was the most anxious. I would have panic attacks, like, no lie. Like, I'm laughing about it now, but back then, it was super scary. Like, I would be scared to go drive on the freeway because I would think, oh my God, if I have a panic attack, like, and I can't get from like this lane to the exit, that's scary, you know? I used to go through stuff like that. But the more and more and more I was there for myself, and listen, I used to hate when people would say, be there for yourself, work on your self-concept. Like, I used to hate that inner work because I used to think, I am there for myself. Like, what do you mean? I love myself. Like, no one's better than me, whatever. Like, not no one's better than me, but you love yourself. You care for yourself. It's not that. It's not just you thinking that and then going about your day worrying about your manifestation. That's not self-love. You putting yourself in triggering situations is not self-love. You going and worrying for hours that where's your SP? Let me go check their social media. Let me do this. Let me do that to get them. That's you putting yourself in a survival, scary, anxious mode. That's not self-love. That's not a proper self-concept. So pay attention to those things. Okay, you guys? Having faith in the unseen. What are some ways you can do that? Be in the present. Practice present moment. Having faith in the unseen. What would you do if you were waiting for anything else that you didn't have control over? Do that. Having faith in the unseen takes a lot of you deciding, I'm going to have fun today. I'm going to pour into me today. I'm going to watch my nervous system today. I'm going to do the things I've been really putting off, because if my specific person was here, I wouldn't be putting it off. I would be so happy. I would be doing all that stuff because I would just know they're there, right? But that's the illusion. You got to do the other stuff. So do the other stuff, feel accomplished, and feel that you are that person. You are that special, amazing person anyway. And then that stuff comes in. Okay? But don't think that, oh, just working on self-concept and just pouring into me, I don't have to. You're going to have to watch your story throughout the day. You're going to have to watch what you think of yourself and what they think of you. What are those assumptions? This is all you checking in on yourself. This is all you loving yourself enough to, instead of picking a self-sabotaging story, you're picking the desired one every single time. And when in doubt, if you're so hurt, you can't think about your SP, go to just self-concept. Because as we saw in this success story, and we've seen time and time again, I'm speaking to you as a coach. I've seen time and time again, from my personal experiences to all these hundreds and thousands of people I've helped, evidence shows, statistics show that when you prioritize you and you make you the main character of your story, all these other characters start making you the main character, because everyone is you pushed out, because it is a projection. I love you guys. You better have fun today. You better have fun this weekend. Regardless of circumstances, it doesn't matter. Anything can change in any second. Any miracle can happen in any second. I've seen it time and time again. I don't care what your circumstances are. You focus on you, and you focus on you being a creator of your reality. And if you got to tell yourself, universe, show me how good this gets, do it. Show me how you have my back, universe. Even if just saying that makes you feel better, do it. Start thinking from that point of view. Have freaking fun. Because whether you have fun or not, you're still on your journey to getting everything you want. So why not make the most of it? Okay, you have a whole world, a whole force, a whole planet, a whole galaxy, a whole 7 billion people waiting on your assumptions, waiting on what reality are you going to pick to live in today? What parallel reality, what version of yourself are you going to choose to focus on today? Because what you do, that when you do choose one, you shift into that parallel reality, and everything has to match with what you identify as. Okay? I love you. I will see you in the next video. Have an amazing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing July. If you want any of my courses, you guys, links are going to be in the description box down below. One-on-one coaching, I'm booked up. I am booked up like crazy, but that's why we have a wait list. And that's why so many of you have been manifesting spots with me, either same day or like, you can do this. I love you. I will see you in the next video. Bye.